Started. Like I said, welcome to the Writing Center's online open house. My name's Misty. I'm the Writing Center coordinator here at Full Sail. And if you call in or if you email with the Writing Center, you're usually talking to me. Yeah, so let's just jump right in. So the Writing Center is available to all Full Sail students. You can learn about the services we offer and find online Writing Center resources on our page on Connect. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about how the Writing Center can assist you. We'll also let you know how you can make an appointment. And then in addition, we'll show you where you can find some of the resources available on our welcome page. And we'll talk a little bit about the actual writing process. The Writing Center can help with grammar, academic writing, APA style, creative writing, scripts, resumes, cover letters, English as a second language. We can help with professional email. We can help with pretty much anything that relates to writing, but we are not a proofreading service. And this is a thing that gets a little bit confusing for students. So if you have questions about this, I'm willing to talk about it in greater detail, but we can offer you advice on how to edit, and we can show you issues that you are having repeatedly, and we can help you in that improvement process. However, we won't proofread your entire paper. We never guarantee that anything will be mistake-free or error-free. And to receive this help, you must set up an appointment. We can't just do this online. Well, we do appointments online, but we can't just go through your paper and fix it for you and then send it back to you. We actually have to talk about the process and how and show you how you can improve your work for the next time. So the Writing Center offers online appointments, on-campus appointments, and usually we have open hours. The Writing Center hours are Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. We offer on-campus appointments in Building 4D, and these appointments are only available from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. And we do require a full business day in which to schedule the appointments, which means if you need an appointment for Monday, you have to contact us before Friday. For online students or students with busy schedules, we offer convenient online appointments. These appointments are conducted through one-on-one GoToMeeting sessions. They also require that full business day for scheduling, and these are available from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. The Writing Center usually offers open hours for local students. Open hours are conducted in the Full Sail Library. The days change every month, and they're based on tutor availability. And right now, we actually aren't offering open hours because the demand for them was very low, and we only have a couple of tutors right now for the Writing Center. And so we just can't, we need those tutors to be here for scheduled appointments. So right now the open hours have been suspended. And hopefully when we get a couple more tutors in at the Writing Center, we can open those back up. All students are invited to participate in our online open house sessions, which take place on the first Friday of each month. That's what we are doing right here. They are announced on our blog on Connect, and we also try to announce those on our Facebook page, which you guys are welcome to join. We also offer an APA workshop, usually the second Friday of each month. That, again, will be posted on our blog on Connect, as well as on our Facebook page. I really like the APA workshop. I think it is really, really helpful. And so if you guys are worried about APA or you have questions about APA, definitely come back next week. It's going to be at the same time. You can find out more on Connect, but definitely check it out. For scheduling purposes, appointments must be made 24 hours or one business day in advance. And an important thing to remember is that our email is not checked after 5 p.m. Eastern or on the weekends. This is also true of our Connect page. So requests sent after that time are received at 9 a.m. the following business day. When you make an appointment, please let us know if you prefer an online or an on-campus appointment, and also suggest a few days and times that you're available. And this one is really important. Don't wait until the last minute to make your appointment, especially if you know that you need a Friday appointment. We tend to get a lot of requests for Friday appointments. For instance, in the last 3 weeks, our Friday appointments have been completely booked by Wednesday. So, if you know that the only time you can meet with a tutor is on Friday morning, let us know as soon as you know that so that we can get that scheduled for you. You can schedule an appointment by calling us at 407-679-0100, and our extension is 2340, or you can email us at writingcenter@fullsail.com, or you can fill out our appointment request form on Connect. I honestly recommend this as the best way to request an appointment, because when you request an appointment on Connect, it makes you give me all of the information that I need to actually schedule the appointment. And because we're sometimes in the library, or I'm conducting workshops or in meetings, or whatever it is, I'm not always right by my phone, so I don't always get the phone call immediately. And if you send me an email but you don't provide all of the information I need, then I have to email you back, and then you have to email me back, and that can take much longer. So the Connect form is just much faster. So I recommend using the form on Connect. At the end of the presentation, I will take you guys, I'll show you our Connect page. I think that will probably be helpful as well. And I'll just kind of go through a little bit. No, let's do that now. Hi, kid. Okay, so hopefully you guys are using Connect a lot. It's really useful. This isn't what yours looks like. Yours, the Student Connect should look like this. So if you log in and you've seen Student Connect, all you have to do is search for Writing Center, and we pop up. So this is what the page looks like. Here's the appointment request form. Mine's actually going to take me to appointment requests. But if you click on that, it will take you to the actual form. Some things to know about. Once you're on the Writing Center's welcome page, you can find a lot of different helpful resources in our quick links section. But you can also just come up here. This is our news. This is our blog. But we do have like frequently asked questions, online resources, videos, downloads, the appointment request form, etc. And then we have a lot of the same information that I just went over. Our hours. When we have library open hours, they will be recorded right here. And then we have like our top files, our top videos, upcoming events that we're running. Like I said, that GPS workshop, the APA style one, is next Friday. But I wanted to show you the online resources really quickly. So you can find our Facebook group here. We have a Pinterest. And then if you are looking for a resource for a type of writing that you're participating in or that you're worried about, we have, we've arranged them kind of in a way that I think is organized and helpful. So you've got APA links. I really love the Project APA. It's really, really good. I would use that one. I would start there if you're having questions about APA and you don't want to make an appointment at the Writing Center. If you have questions about grammar links, here are a bunch of different grammar links you can use. If you have questions about punctuation, I really, 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 really recommend the punctuation guide. I like it a lot. I think it's easy to use and fun. And then Links on academic writing, things like safe practices for research, types of academic papers. Maybe you've been told that your thesis statements aren't as strong as they could be. And then proofreading links, creative writing links, ESL links, resume and cover letters, reading comprehension, and then professional emails. So we have a lot of information here. I definitely recommend spending some time on our Connect page and seeing what there is to see. All right, so now that we've covered what the Writing Center can help you with and how to make an appointment, I want to just go over some tips that will help you write better right now. Yay! One of the most important skill sets you can acquire is the ability to proofread your own work. This can be really hard because you wrote it. You know what you meant to say, and your brain is a really awesome computing machine, and it will often fix mistakes without you being aware that it's doing it. So to proofread well, you kind of need to trick your brain into seeing the mistakes and seeing the paper in a new light. So one way you can do that is take a break. If you have a few days before your assignment is due, give yourself a day or two. If you only have one day or a few hours, still take a break. Even a short break will help you come back to the writing with kind of new eyes. I can't really stress this one enough. It's really hard to switch from creator mode into editor mode. And you want to make that switch. So give yourself a little while. And then when you come back to the work, you'll be more centered in that idea of like, now it's time to proofread. Now it's time to revise. Another thing you can do is you can print your work out. Changing the format can help you see new things. I also like that this allows you to actually leave the work area that you created the work in. I am currently working on an essay for publication, and I'm looking at my workspace, and I have like 3 different versions of the essay that I'm going to look through today, and they're all printed out, and I'm probably going to take them and sit outside. And I don't really know why that's helpful, but I swear it is. The next one is one that I often hear pushback from. Students are not excited to use this technique, but I swear it's helpful. So read your work out loud. Most people read more slowly when they're reading aloud, which will help highlight those mistakes that you might skip over if you were reading silently. This also can help with revision. So even if you're not looking for typos or things of that nature, if you're reading out loud, you might notice, well, that sentence is really confusing. Or that sentence ran on for a very long time. Or I stumbled over the way I wrote that. You can sometimes become confused based on awkward wording or clunky sentences or misused words when you read them out loud in a way that you would not have been able to if you were reading it silently. So I think that that's a really helpful technique. I know students who are like, but I don't like the sound of my own voice, or I feel silly reading it out loud to myself. And sometimes, I feel the same way, but it really is worth it, even if you feel silly sitting there reading your work to yourself. If you really feel strongly about it, maybe ask a friend to read it out loud. That can be even more helpful because you can hear it in someone else's voice. All right, this is my favorite one. I think if you're only going to do one of these techniques, this is the one I would use. Start at the end of your paper and read from the end to the beginning. You force your brain out of its comfortable patterns, which helps you keep focused on the local issues of grammar, punctuation, and spelling. So you don't get in this rhythm of like, and this was my main point, and look at that beautiful sentence that I created, and look how it flows into the next one. If you're reading it backwards, you're literally going to be like stuttering through. It's going to really slow you down. In fact, if you've printed your work out, I will print my work out and I'll take a piece of paper and I'll cover everything except the sentence that I'm working on. So it really forces my brain to just focus on that one area at a time. Check for specific errors. This is a great thing to do. If you get similar feedback from different instructors, it's likely that that's a mistake that you're just prone to making. So if you know the mistakes that you're most likely to make, keep a list of those mistakes and then check specifically for them. I actually have a list that I keep by my desk that has my most common mistakes and the things I have to look out for. When I'm writing creatively, I love fragments. I throw them in like they are candy. I also use way too many commas to indicate a pause, which isn't actually how you use a comma. And so I just know I have to edit for both of those things every time I write. There are a couple of other ones, but I won't bore you with them. So one thing that can be helpful is that you actually go through the paper once looking for just the first error that you know that you commonly make. And then then you'd go through the paper a second time looking for the next one on your list. And you do that for each of the errors that you know you make commonly. Now, that's going to take a long time, but if you are looking to write a professional paper, if you are looking to write the strongest essay you can, it's probably worth it to take that time to do that. All right, now we're going to talk a little bit about actually writing papers and how to approach that. Make a plan. Writing is a process. It helps to plan that process out, especially when you're first getting started or if writing is hard for you. So the writing process contains multiple steps. We're going to break these steps down and look at each of them in more detail, but let's name them now. You have pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing, and publishing. And if you notice, it's a circle, right? Pre-writing leads to drafting, which leads to revising, which leads to editing, which leads to publishing, which leads to pre-writing. Because this is a process that you will be using a lot. All right, the first thing you need to do when you're writing a paper or tackling any kind of project is to make sure that you actually understand the assignment. Look for keywords, determine if the project requires research, what kind of writing are you going to be doing. If you don't understand your assignment or the instructions, you will not be able to write a good paper. If you don't understand your assignment, you need to ask for clarification. You can ask your instructor, you can ask your classmates, although they might not always give you good information. But it's really important that you reach out to people if you're not understanding the assignment. You could write a great creative essay, but if your teacher wanted an argument, like an argumentative paper, then you're going to not do well on that assignment. So you have to understand what the instructor is actually asking for. Once you understand your assignment, start brainstorming. Write down all of your ideas. Make a word map, a rough outline, or anything that helps you sort out your ideas. Some people like lists or other written forms of brainstorming. Other people like to talk their ideas out. Brainstorm however you like, but make sure that you have some kind of record. So if you like to talk your ideas out, record yourself. If you like to make lists, make sure that you keep a hold of the lists. For instance, I like to take walks and think to myself, so I carry a small notepad with me everywhere I go, and then I can just jot down my ideas. Some people use their phone for this purpose. You can get really great note-taking apps on your phones, or you can usually record yourself with your phone. So whatever you like, it's just important that at the end of the brainstorming process, you actually have ideas written down. I also love Post-it notes. Right now my desk is completely covered in Post-it notes. I like that you can rearrange them, and I like that you can stick them to things. So if you're doing research, if you have an idea, then you can kind of reorganize them as your ideas progress. All right, the next step is research. Not all writing projects require research, but a lot of your papers and projects at school will. So take the questions or ideas that you brainstormed and start finding essays, videos, and articles about them. The library is a really great resource for this stage. Outlining is the final part of pre-writing. All three of those that we just talked about, including outlining, are pre-writing. Just like brainstorming, you can outline any way that makes sense to you. Sometimes you will have to turn in an outline. Your instructors might require it. For instance, I know in Comp 1, you guys are required to turn in an outline. And with that, you have to turn it in the format that your instructor has asked for. But for yourself, for the beginning of this stage of pre-writing, outline however you like. You can do a traditional sentence outline with Roman numerals for each of your main ideas, or you could do a more visual outline like the example on this slide. Again, what's important at this stage is to get some words on the paper. If you have an outline, drafting is going to be much, much easier, which is why in some of your classes, your instructors will require an outline be turned in. Okay, so here's the thing. Drafting is really hard. It's hard to stare at a blank screen and start typing, which is why we talk so much about pre-writing. If you've used the pre-writing strategies, you shouldn't be staring at a blank screen, and you should already have a lot of ideas and research about those ideas. As you draft, consider your audience. A lot of students will assume that their audience is their instructor or their classmates, but this isn't really the case. Some assignments will specify an audience that you should be writing for, and other assignments won't. If your assignment doesn't tell you who your audience is, you should choose an audience for your paper. Peers, family, other experts, the general public, and write for that specific audience. Consider things like tone and evidence. What might be appropriate for your peers might not be appropriate if you're writing to experts in a field. When we're talking about tone, I like to use the example of how if you were calling your mom or your grandmother or some authority figure, the information that you present to them might be the same as when you call up your best friend, right? You're going to tell them a funny story about work or school. But the way you present that information is probably going to be a little bit different to the authority figure versus to your best friend. Now, that doesn't mean that one of them is better than the other. It just means that you're aware of your tone and the audience that you are talking to. So you want to do the same thing in writing. The way you write an email to your best friend is probably going to be different than the way you write an email to your boss. Okay, write concisely. Take out any extraneous details or tangents. Make sure that all of your paragraphs relate back to your thesis. Make sure that all of your sentences in those paragraphs relate back to your topic sentences. A great thing to do at that stage is actually what we call a reverse outline, where once you have your draft, you write your thesis statement out, and then you write all your topic sentences underneath it. And what you end up with, it looks like an outline. And why that's such a good thing to do is it lets you know if all of your paragraphs relate back to your thesis statement, because you have all of the topic sentences of your paragraphs. It also lets you know if your paragraphs don't have a topic, if they don't have a main idea, which will help you in the revision process. Revising is done when you look at the big picture of your paper, what we call global issues. Does it flow? Did you address a specific audience? Have you cited things properly? Have you met the requirements for the assignment? Do your ideas follow a logical order? Do you have a thesis statement? All of these things are global issues, and you want to fix them before you move on to anything else. Editing is when you look at the local issues or the kind of nitty gritty small issues that come up in a paper. This is when you look at grammar and punctuation. This is when you're going to look for those, misused or misspelled words. Make sure all your commas are in the right places. And then the final stage is publishing. For school assignments, that means turning it in on time and in the manner that your instructor has requested it. This is kind of an important idea to learn, because when you go into the real world, when you go into a professional setting, you're going to have to turn your assignments in. Whatever your boss has asked you to accomplish or do, you're going to have to present that to them in the manner in which they have asked you to. And so it's good to just kind of get that kind of ingrained in your head, right? You're not finished until you have turned your work in the format and on time. All right. My final piece of general advice is to use APA resources. Again, next week, April 7th, we will have a workshop that will look at APA in more detail, and you can always make a Writing Center appointment about APA. But I just wanted to, again, remind you guys that APA is really important, and you should start familiarizing yourself with it if you haven't already. And again, I will show you, because I can, this is my favorite of the APA resources. It's projectapa.info. I'll put this in the chat box. It's really easy to navigate, which is why I like it. You can look at in-text citations. You can break that down in a bunch of different ways. Reference pages, APA paper format, frequently asked questions, right here. So I really like this one. Again, I'm kind of visual when I'm trying to learn something new. And they have an actual example of an APA finished sample paper. And that is just really helpful to me to look through. So if you are like me and that is likely to help you be able to figure it out a little bit more, you can actually download the file. You can also download a document template if you'd like. So this is a really great resource. All right, that is the end of my presentation. Hopefully I've given you some good information. But does anyone have any questions? If you do, you can pop them in the chat. If you would like to verbally ask your question, let me know and I will unmute you. I don't want to just unmute everyone though, because just in case people are doing things in the background, it can be loud. But yeah, so if you do have any questions, pop them in the chat. If not, you're free to go, and thank you for coming in. I hope you learned a little bit more about the Writing Center. Oh, Terrence is asking where this will be recorded. Let me show you. So again, it will be put up on our Connect. So if you go to the Writing Center's Connect page, there is, we have a video page, and we post our archived videos here. So actually, if you can't make the APA workshop next week, we have a bunch of archived APA workshops, open house archives, etc. So you can always find our newest archived videos here. The newest ones show up at the top, just like a normal blog would. And I can give you, if you would like, I can give you the URL for that. Oh, no problem at all, Terrence. It was my pleasure. Any other questions? Is anyone else curious about something, or any question at all? Um, Thomas, could you go a little further? You're asking, is APA common? Is requiring APA common, like in a class? Because yes, most of your classes will require APA. I'm not sure if I answered your question though. All right, it looks like maybe I answered your question, Thomas, hopefully. But yeah, just in case anyone else is curious about that, yeah, APA is definitely a commonly used um, part of, uh, sorry, part of the curriculum here at Full Sail. So if you do have questions about it, I definitely recommend that you come to our APA workshop and that you come to, if you still have questions after the APA workshop, please reach out to the Writing Center. We would love to help you on that.